Good. Appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this is LMTDETMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. And how are you all today? I hope you are doing well. I am doing particularly well today, but only because yesterday, some late in the evening, I got my keys for Deathloop. So there we are. I now own a copy of Deathloop, which will be releasing on midnight of the 13th to 14th barrier. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to do a stream at that time, because if I did, then that would be like, oh, I'm going to do a 3-hour stream, and then I will go to sleep and have like 5 hours of sleep before I have to get up and do this stream at my regular time. Am I going to do that? Am I going to be stupid enough? I mean, it sounds like something I would do, but who knows? We will find out as we get closer to the day, which is only 3-4 days away. So yeah, won't that be a fun thing to find out together? The answer is no, that will not be a fun thing to find out together, because one of us will have a lack of sleep. I could start streaming at midnight and continue into my normal time and do like a huge 12-hour stream. That might be fun to do, but I feel that I might, fall asleep partway through. And if I've got the camera on, then you would just see me sleeping. Which maybe that's a way to increase my viewership, by just having me sleeping while Deathloop plays in the background. Oh, and while we're talking about Deathloop, if you have not heard the soundtrack, I guess it would be called, then the signature theme or whatever it is, that is pretty amazing. The original trailer soundtrack, called Deja Vu. I'm certain you can find it on YouTube, and if I was prepared, I would, look and find it immediately. You are listening to me. And then I could pop it in. There we go. I have it. And then I can just pop it. Yes, you beat me to it. Curse you. Or at least I believe you beat me to it. Yeah, that's the same link. How dare you beat me to it by being, all proactive and stuff. I think it's a good song, even without anything that is going on related to the game. So yeah, give that a listen. At some point, when you're not watching me play the Blackwell Epiphany. Oh, how about not only can you watch me play it, but how about you hear it? Indeed, just in time. You've just missed me talking about rubbish. And now we're going to continue with our Blackwell Epiphany. I guess I want to save one rather than autosave. Here we are. We're going to learn all about... Wow, I really don't know. If this is the Countess and Jocelyn, now we know. Or Madeline and Jocelyn, we said, didn't we? Yeah, because we've got switch to Madeline, switch to Jocelyn. Nobody's got any, they've got no things in their inventories and no notes. But this is, Malone's tailoring, it looks like. But look, we've got a car in the background with a tyre on the background, which makes me think it's the 30s or 40s. So, how old is the Countess? If she was alive in, Joey's in the 2010s as well. Well, no, she was alive in the 1970s, wasn't she? Yeah. So no, that is more plausible.
My host, Jocelyn Contis. I have been her guide for 2 months.
2 months? Only 2 months. Alright, let me write down Jocelyn Contis. You know, I could actually... Not Countess, Contis. C-O-N-T-I-S. Yeah. I could actually ask you to, you know, type that in the chat for me. Wouldn't that be good? Yeah! Alright, and what about you, Jocelyn? What do you think of Madeline?
Does she have to stare like that? Drives me batty.
Is that it?
Does she have to... Drives me...
That's a shame. We don't get any more than Madeline.
My host, Jocelyn Contis. I have been her guide for 2 months.
Thanks very much. Alright, now let's look around here. Leave.
I really wanna, but Maddie'll give me an earful if I leave now.
Yeah, and you don't know. Oh, there's a window.
It's covered with gunk. I can't see through it.
Why not?
It's boarded up. No getting through there.
Man, I love that twang.
A sailor shop. Looks like it's been shut down for a while. A sailor
You're
shop.
gonna say that. Yeah. That says Malone's. I mean, they've obscured it as if to hide the fact that, oh, it's Malone's. Door, windows... Side alley? No? Alright, we'll go try the door in a minute. Oh, well, Madeline will be able to go through the door.
We cannot leave yet. We have a duty to fulfill. The window is boarded up and covered with dust. It is impossible to see through it.
Thank you very much for spelling it correctly. He doesn't really come across as a tailor. No,
It
that's right.
appears to be some sort of haberdashery.
Well, haberdashery.
The window...
No, we had the window. It was a door.
The front entrance, blocked by wooden planks.
Alright, well, let's just try the door. Well, let's try the window, actually. Smash! Climb through.
Won't budge.
Not surprised.
What do you know? Locked. Ain't gonna budge.
Alright, well, switch to Madeline. You go in
If
through
I'm
the
going
window.
to enter, I will use the door. It is just common courtesy.
Screw your common courtesy. I'm a ghost. I go where I like. I float through walls. I come up through the floor. There's a ceiling. I will float through it. Are you a person standing in my way? I will float through you rather than move. I'm a ghost. Ooh. Haberdashery is hat
If you
maker.
could just wait here, my host.
Uh-huh. It's not like I got anything else to do.
Hello? Is anyone about? I am a friend.
Nobody's there? Can we go?
I am a
Tonight, if we
customer.
hurry, we can catch him.
Patience, my host. I sense a lost spirit here. We cannot leave our duty unfinished. It appears to be a coat of some kind.
Joey would have things to say about that. It's not a
quiet
coat
night,
of some
despite
kind.
the rain. So garish.
I can barely tell what that is. I mean, that might be the pixels. I guess there's a face, and there are names. Doesn't look that garish.
Some clothing items.
Oh, we're gonna have to bang on the bell, aren't we, to get them?
A door leading to a back area.
Well, let's try going in the door, just for the hell of it. Or are we gonna go, out of range? Oh no, we can go in there. But there's nothing there.
The room contains a few machines and piles of cloth. There is nothing else worth reporting.
Who are you reporting to?
The
Ring
notice
bell for
reads,
sale?
please ring bell for service.
Awesome. Alright, how do I ring the bell? A retail dealer means furnishings as shirts, ties, gloves, socks, and hats. Chiefly British, a dealer in small wares and notation. Really? I was always under the impression that it was just a hat shop. Alright, okay. I have been corrected. Alright. Do I have enough physical form as the Countess, as Madeline, rather, to ring a bell?
It is a simple bell. I am incorporeal and unable to ring the bell.
No, okay. Oh, there's a mirror.
It has been a long time since I have seen my reflection. I cannot touch the mirror.
No, and you don't have any way of blowing things. Oh. Alright. Well, you stay here. Is that a brick? Yeah, it's a loose brick.
Look at that. This place is falling apart.
Somehow I didn't see that before.
Look at that. This place is falling apart.
And that window. I am a vandal. Grr, you cannot stop me.
My host? My host.
Sorry. You say something?
Certainly nothing that matters any longer.
Hey, I need into this joint. I can't float through doors, or walls, or ceilings, or windows like you can. Nor can I float through people like you seem to want to do. You incredible person, you who is very rude. I will just have to go through the window. Oh, you know what I want to do?
No one saw me. No one can prove anything.
Great.
I have no idea how that got there, and nobody can prove otherwise.
Yes, they can.
It worked, didn't it?
Pick it up.
Better not. If anybody comes in here, I don't want that thing in my hands. Ugh, stupid rain. They look horrible.
No. Yeah, they're not. They don't come. I mean, she's only been doing it. I don't know. Actually, I was going to say she's only been doing it for 2 months, but I mean, Rosa did not go around smashing things up when she had first met Joey. So I don't know. Different people, different times of life, different sensibilities.
Huh. Some kind of band. Danny and Linda Marconi? Never heard of them.
Oh, alright. They were in a band.
They're all from last season.
Oh no.
And Jacket from 2 seasons ago. I guess this place has been closed for a while.
Bullet holes?
Jeez.
Oh my
What happened
god.
here?
I didn't see those before. Well, I think we know how Joey died then.
Her methods might be rough and unrefined, but I suppose she did get results. I will need to have a word with my host about discretion.
Discretion is the best part of valor.
I suppose in lieu of a key, this had to suffice.
What do you say about those?
I believe these were caused by a pistol.
How do you know? Do you know what guns are? I guess. Depending on the time period, maybe. No, you can't look at those lights. Alright. I am wondering, I mean, I would love it to be a great twist that...
I cannot touch the glass.
No, I didn't want you to touch the glass. What I wanted is for you to face forward like that. Right? See how she looks all regal and refined and dressed up and, you know, as if she comes from a different time period? No, she just died when she was at a Ren fair. That's what I would love as a twist. Or an actress, yeah. I know guns have been around for a long time, but... I mean, maybe you would know. I don't know how she would have understood that.
They're all from
No, we know that. Let's read the note.
It says to ring the bell if I need help.
Well, we do need help. We need help with a spook. But what do you find in the back room?
Nothing interesting back there. Just a bunch of sewing machines and fabric.
So, interesting things. Alright then,
It's just a bell.
time to ring that bell. Bing! Where's Joey?
Danny? Danny, someone's out front! Danny, where the hell are you? Sorry for the wait, ladies. My assistant seems to be out. What can I do for you?
Was that it? Was that the big reveal? The thing that we worked out right at the beginning? Okay. Oh my god, a different angle on the apartment.
How long are you gonna stare at that thing? It's getting dark.
Just one more. It has to be here.
What are you doing anyway?
A man was murdered last night in the middle of a major blizzard.
Believe me, I remember.
Right. So how come nobody else has?
Hey?
I've been checking on every local news website all day. There's not a single mention of it. I called the police myself. We know they know about it. They must have suppressed the news, but why?
I'm sure the cops got their reasons, and they can keep them. I don't care who plugged the guy. I only care about what happened after.
I know.
I think you should care about both.
So, the victim didn't have any identification on him. I was hoping a news report would give us his name, but it looks like we're on our own.
Well, something familiar at least.
We'll find out
Let's
as
go
soon as
talk
we've
to
gone
our
through
pet
this.
cop. Maybe he knows
I am
something.
not going to miss out on Griff. New location, Midtown South Precinct. So why didn't Joey recognize Jocelyn or Madeleine when they met in the 70s? I guess it had been a long time and he didn't know he was dead to begin with. Alright.
My old computer. I don't use it much since I got my phone.
What the hell are you talking about? You were sitting there using it just now.
It takes about an hour to boot up these days.
Oh dear.
Some articles I wrote for the Village Eye newspaper. I hated working there and the paper's been dead for years. But for some reason I can't take them down.
Because you want continuity between games.
I bought that clock at a tag sale years ago. It doesn't work, but for some reason I can't get rid of it.
Again, you want
I
continuity.
know it's broken, but I've had it for years. It stays. I'd prefer to keep them.
Yes, we're going to search for Jocelyn contest in a minute. Joey wasn't passed on by Jocelyn, so something funny happened. Yeah, exactly.
I stopped updating this calendar around the time Joey came into my life. There's probably a connection there. I've pretty much stopped updating that calendar, especially since I can download 100 calendar apps on my phone.
Don't, you only need one. A newspaper article. Ooh.
The last article I ever wrote.
Ow.
And the first ghost I ever saved.
Alright. Freshman suicide at New York campus by Rosangela Blackwell even. Joanne Sherman was an 18-year-old freshman studying political science at NYU. A sudden suicide this morning has many school authorities asking why. She always had friends around her. R.A. Adrian Tucker said. The suicide came as a total surprise. Sherman left with her two friends. Yeah, we had that picture in the original game.
My parents' wedding. It's the only picture I have of them. They look so young.
There's Joey. And there's Lauren. Maria? And Jack, I think. And Cake. And a knife. Look, she's going to stab him. Oh, the wedding was doomed from the start.
Auntie Lauren and me. This was just before
Lauren.
all the troubles began.
And there's Griff. Griff! Alright, Griff. Thermostat? No,
It's
buzzer.
the intercom to the lobby. If anyone buzzes up, I can talk to them from here. Books on notable New Yorkers, all deceased. Never hurts to be prepared.
I was going to say, you needed
I've
those
already
before.
read them, and I've got the digital copies anyway.
Have you? Okay. Trash can?
There's nothing in there. I go through much less paper since I gave up writing. I miss it sometimes, but I just can't seem to find the time anymore.
I mean, I go through much less paper since we stopped using paper as a medium. Alright, Griff. No, we're gonna save you for last.
Books on boat maintenance and navigation. I'm not making that mistake again.
Yes, very
I've already
very
read
well
them.
done. Alright, Xmas photo. Round the tree.
Grandmother
Yeah.
Patricia, my dad, and Auntie Lauren. I never met my grandmother. I don't think she was ever prepared for, well, this.
Indeed, the cake is not a lie. You still go through a lot. I know, when you have to file things for an office, etc., then yeah, definitely. Because they still want actual physical copies of stuff. You can't submit, or at least you could not submit, digital bundles of evidence when I worked in a law office. E-filing is a thing, certainly, yeah. But not with the bundles of evidence, or at least not. She's her own medium. Oh, Jeremy photo.
It's
Really?
a picture of me and a former coworker of mine. Jeremy was a friend, kind of. I never did get to know him well. Not when he was alive, anyway.
I'm glad you're acknowledging that fact, but it's weird that you've put up the dead guy's picture on your wall. Is there anything else? No, move to the side. No, nothing else there. Newspaper article, movie poster, newspaper, Danny photo.
This man's name is Dan
Right.
Marconi. I only met him briefly, as a very old man.
But look, Malone. No? And look, there it says Malone as well. You're not going to make that connection? You're not going to bring it up? Fine.
For months, I expected the police to come breaking down my door, but it's been a year and nothing.
Midtown. Midtown double homicide still unsolved. What was noted philanthropist and charity worker Gavin Cord doing at the home of Lisa Tenzin, noted psychic and con woman? This is the question police have been asking themselves ever since they were both found dead inside Tenzin's home 6 months ago. Police investigations are continuing. I ask that anyone with further information please contact the Midtown South Precinct. Gavin Cord and Lisa Tenzin, and we'll look those up. And the other newspaper article?
This article is about the Meltzer Foundation. I suppose they did some good in the end, but the death toll was too high.
What happened to the Meltzer Foundation? Reuters reports that the Meltzer Foundation has closed its doors. The foundation was only recently the talk of the VC circuit, with their uncanny ability to pick winner after winner. It appeared they had the Midas touch. Through their efforts, they launched several careers in the art, film, and science fields. The reason behind the closure remains a mystery, as neither Paul Metzer nor his co-founder and brother Charles could be reached for comment. That's because Charles is dead. Charles died. Charles tried to kill me, so Charles died. And there's a picture of Paul Metzer. Oh, coffee mug.
I've had it for years and it's only slightly coffee stained.
Oh, congratulations. Ah, that must be for...
That dog leash used to belong to my neighbor Nishanti. She gave it to me as a souvenir of how we met.
Yeah. Ooh,
The
statuette.
Seagull statue used to belong to Lisa Tenzin.
Oh, that's the thing that was at the top, was it? Alright, pack of
These were
cigarettes.
Auntie Lauren's favorite brand. I don't remember much from back then, but the smell reminds me of her. It's a Gold Tech mug.
Oh, Gold Tech. We remember Gold Tech, don't we? Wow, this... I mean, this is the last game, so everything is being piled in. That's got to be Susan Lee's?
I snuck this bottle out of a hospital room for a college kid named Susan Lee.
What else have we got? Brush and palette. So that's Claude somebody or other? The artist?
These art tools belong to
Claude
Claude
Erdin.
Erdin.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone thinks he killed himself, but at least I know otherwise.
Excuse me. And a notepad. That's got to be yours from how you started out before you went to phone.
My old notepad.
Yeah.
I went through dozens of these before I upgraded to this phone.
Yes, tomorrow we will be on part 2 of this room. I mean, I guess it's just reminders of previous cases. Oh. Oh, is that Joe Gould?
It's a portrait of Joe Gould.
Yep.
He used to hang in the Minetta Tavern.
It's the coffee mug. Oh, bedroom door.
My bedroom's an oversized closet, but it's mine. I can't go to bed yet. I have a full day ahead of me.
But maybe you have something in
rather
there.
a full night, but still. Still Joey, still following me around.
Alright, well. Let's look. Let's check out our emails. Nope, we've got all of those. You can still call Sam Durkin. Murdered man. Last night we saw a man murdered. And his ghost was torn apart right in front of us. No mention of the murder on the news. Perhaps the police know something? Grace. The murdered man last night said the name Grace. And that she wasn't safe. So we'll call up Sam Durkin and see if we can get an ID on the person. That is... Oh, the Gotham Collective. Okay, so we're going to have more photos. But alright, here we go. No, not Griff. Oh, the movie poster. Yeah, that'll be Water Under the Bridge. But yeah, we'll look up that in a minute. Jocelyn. Are we spelling that right? No. Joss. Lynn. Contis. No! That is a shame. We only have Madeline. I don't know why I've got this noted down. Who is Alex Silver? No, nothing. Fine. Must have been from a previous game that I had it noted down. Is Gold Tech still going strong? Are they in the news? Oh no, they were packed up and dead. Yeah, alright, so they're not there still. How about Joey Malone? No? Yeah, we can look up Claude Erdin. I don't suspect any of these people from previous cases will be here. Because that would just be confusing everything. Susan Lee? I wanted to know how she was doing after all her time. Yeah, maybe the Village Eye. Nope. Can't think of anything else that needs to be. Oh, Lisa Tenzin. And Gavin Cord. No? Oh, okay. Oh, Alex Silver. I know who Alex Silver was. Alex Silver was the name of the police commissioner or police high person who was on the news at the end of the deception saying, "We will find who did this." But yeah. Alright, none of that. Now, movie poster.
It's a poster for the film Water Under the Bridge. It starred Frank Lyons.
Yeah, it did. Alright. Now, that moment you've all been waiting for. The moment when I turn into
Red's
Joey
computer
and
thing,
look
I
over
still have
all
no
of the
idea
things
how it
again.
works. Nothing on there but a couple articles she wrote for some newspaper rag. That clock is right twice a day, but not much else. This calendar is dated 5 years ago.
Wow, that's impressive.
Poor kids. At least they're all at peace now.
Yeah, they did.
Lauren Blackwell, in happier times. Well, happier for them at any rate. I was mostly ignored.
Why couldn't you... Well,
Jack
no.
and Maria Blackwell. How long ago was this anyway? 30 years at least.
I mean, at least. Because Rosangela is 30.
I know it's cold outside, but I wish she'd get a move on. Just a bunch of books. Just books. It's the way out of here. Always felt kind of bad for Paul Meltzer. Must have killed him to know what his foundation was really costing people.
Yeah, but, you know,
It's a poster for a picture called Water Under the
Can't.
Bridge.
break an omelette without making some eggs.
An article about the death of Gavin and Lisa. Good riddance to both of them.
We will get to it. I am definitely
Linda,
not lazy.
I still can't believe this picture survived all this time.
Griff will definitely be looked at.
Jeremy Sams. He helped us take down a bad guy last year. Shame he had to die to do it.
Meh.
Patricia Blackwell. She didn't like me much. The feeling was mutual. Just a coffee mug, stained brown from endless cups to swill.
It's only slightly stained. Alright, people in the chat. No, don't know how Jeremy called us either. Alright, everybody in the chat, you get to vote, so to speak, on who will look at Griff first. Will it be Joey? Will it be Rosa? Because obviously both of them are going to look eventually, but wow, you get to decide which of them I right-click with first.
A dog leash.
Make your decisions.
She hangs the craziest stuff on this wall.
You know, it could be vitally important.
This guy was
Joey
Gould.
first.
I never met
One
the guy,
vote for
but from what
Joey.
Red tells me, he sounds like a real jerk. This thing was on Lisa Tenzin's shelf. She was a fake psychic uptown.
Yeah, right at the top. Out of
Lauren
the way.
Blackwell used to smoke this brand. The way she went through them, I'm surprised there are any left to buy. It's a Gold Tech mug. Some kind of pills. Not sure what they do, but the dog next door has never been the same since munching on one.
Those were I was going to say diuretics, but that's not quite what they were.
Those used to belong to an artist named Claude. Bit of a kook, but he didn't deserve what happened to him. Just a notepad. Red was always scribbling away in it. Now she just pokes at that hunk of plastic.
We looked at all of these, didn't we? Yep. Nothing to say on the couch? On the mat? What about the exit?
It's the way out of here. It's the way out of here.
Oh, you're not going to say anything this time. I want to get another...
It's a Gold Tech mug. This thing was on Lisa Tenzin's shelf. She was a fake psychic uptown.
Got very different reverb, etc. on the exit.
It's the way out of here.
Yeah, so that must have been recorded at a different time. Trash can, thank you.
It's full of trash.
Is it? Oh, bedroom?
It's the door to the closet, or as Red calls it, her bedroom.
Yeah, those two have got to be recorded at different times. Oh, intercom.
Some kind of door intercom.
There we go. Fridge, newspaper. Alright. Alright then. Can't delay it any longer. And I am as excited to find out what they're talking about, Griff, as the rest of you. So, you ready? Joey talks about Griff.
Probably the oldest thing in this room. Except for me.
Probably the oldest thing in this room except for me.
Probably the oldest thing. I ain't getting near that bear. Red would chew my ear off. Figuratively speaking, anyway.
Oh, you can blow. Blow on
I'm
Griff.
just gonna blow on everything I see.
I mean, you are, because
I don't think she'd appreciate
I
me
am
blowing
absolutely certain there is another achievement for that. Alright. Come on, Rosa. Look at Griff. I don't know. Don't know whether the couch or Griff was older.
Auntie Lauren gave that bear to me when I was a kid. His name is Griff, the PI bear, although he's more the geriatric bear these days. Auntie Lauren gave that bear to me, although sometimes I think about taking Griff down, but he's so old these days. I'll just leave him. Sometimes I think...
And we got nothing to use on him. Alright, well there we go. And unfortunately not multiple lines. So, let's call up Sam Durkin and see if the police know anything. And get on with this adventure of adventures.
There's no answer.
Oh. Huh. I mean, I want to know who the victim was. Alright, let's get out of here. And see if we can find the victim elsewhere. Hey, you're picking up your coat and putting it on. And somehow you put on
Thank God the
ear
coffee
things
stands
as
are
well.
still open. I think I'm really going to need them.
It's your dime, sweetheart.
Oh no. We don't get to see Nishanti's place. Alright, down to the police station to talk. Hey,
it's you. Had a feeling you'd swing by.
Cool.
The station looks empty. There's just one officer manning the desk.
Oh. Hey, coffee!
Thank God for 24-hour coffee stands. I should have enough hot fuel to last me the rest of the night.
One of you was addicted to nicotine, one of you is addicted to
It's just a police car. There's nobody inside.
And yet, neither of you are being helped by any sort of Alcoholics Anonymous. Or not
It's a
alcoholics,
ghost town
but you
in
get
there.
what I mean.
It's a ghost town in there.
Thank you.
I've never been a big fan of teaming up with the cops, but Durkin seems alright.
Why not?
Whoever drives this thing is gonna need a shovel to get anywhere.
Sam Durkin. I helped him with a case of his about a year ago, and then he helped me with one of mine.
Oh,
We've
hold on.
been paying each other back ever since.
I was gonna go over and talk to him, but no, first of all, it's time to blow on Sam Durkin, who will obviously...
No reaction. No surprise there with the weather we're having.
Exactly. I was gonna say, it is merely to him. Alright, you know what? Hey, I'm calling you. Huh.
Are you going to answer that?
No.
Right.
Cool. I mean, I don't know if that bodes well for you or not. Are we going to have to find your dead body by calling your phone at some point? Alright. Sam, talk to us.
Detective?
Uh-huh.
Can we talk inside? It's cold.
Can we talk inside? It's freezing out here.
Can't smoke inside, thanks to our friend the mayor.
So you couldn't maybe, I don't know, not smoke for a while?
Can you not drink
Right.
coffee for a while? Alright, Mary
You found a
Meehan.
Jane Doe at the Carth House, right?
Yeah, what about it?
Her name was Mary Meehan. She was an actress with the Gotham Collective Theater Company.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I won't ask how you know that, but we'll check out that name and see if you're right. At the very least, we can locate the family and tell them what happened. Thanks. I guess we owe you another one.
You're gonna pay me my usual fee, the fee that we talked about when you sent me there. Okay? That's what's gonna happen. You're not gonna owe me one, you're gonna pay me the money. Alright, I caught the evening news today. Nothing on it.
I caught the evening news today. There wasn't one mention of the murdered man in Chelsea.
Yeah, he might die.
That program hasn't been the same since they replaced that blonde anchor woman.
Nobody else talked about it either. Not online, not any other news program, nobody. You must have suppressed the news. Why?
Because we're the cops, that's why. Look, before we take this any further, why are you so interested in this one? What makes this murder more important than any other?
I guess I'm gonna say he was looking for me. I mean, that makes me more of a suspect than I already am. But, you know, I half trust Sam at least. Tell nobody else, Sam. And I think you're gonna die before the end of it, just like
He
everything
was
else.
looking
but
for
yeah.
me.
He was? Why?
I
No,
don't really know.
Uh-huh. Did you know the guy?
No, I didn't.
So, how did you know he was looking for you? Wait, let me guess. You just do.
Something like that.
The same way
Something like that ain't good enough. What else you got?
the same way that I found out about Mary Meehan and all of those other cases that you've sent me on. I know these things because of things that you don't want to accept. Alright? Can we move on? No? Alright, well, I'm a suspect now. I mean, I assume I'm gonna have to just say, just trust me. But
I was there. You know I was there. Surely I'm a suspect.
You think I'm crazy? I made sure your name is nowhere near this thing. And unless you give me a good reason, it stays that way. So tell me, why is this murder so important?
because you should just trust me.
He was killed right in front of me.
And what, suddenly this makes it personal?
Well, kinda. It might have something to do with me.
Uh-huh.
I mean-
and why is that? Why is this murder so important?
I've already told you, he was looking for me. He died in front of me. Alright, you sent me there.
You're the one who sent me there in the first place. That can't be a coincidence.
So
Exactly,
you
why not
think
just
we
say
sent
he
this
told you
guy
before?
to your location to what? Get killed in front of you?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
You don't get to ask me anything.
Yes, I do.
You need to tell me why this murder is so important.
You're not going to believe me. I saw him die in front of me. The person was waiting for him. He stood in the street waiting for him. Could have gunned me down. Did not gun me down. Gunned down the other guy. Then, when the other guy was dead, weird shit happened. Stuff that you don't believe. But it was weird shit that I need to stop. So, you know, trust me.
You've trusted me before. Why can't you trust me again?
Trust has nothing to do with it. Look, I don't know what your deal is. I've never asked, and frankly, I don't want to know.
You've seen
But
my
I do
thing that
know
says
that you've
spiritual
helped me
consultant.
clear a few cases. And once in a while, in return, I answer some of your questions.
And you pay me.
That's fine. Quid pro quo. It's not in the rule book, but it's how we get things done. But this case, it goes way up. We can't bring in anyone from outside. Not without a good reason. So give me one. Why is this murder so important?
Alright. I can't tell you. It just is. It's the reason it goes all the way up.
I couldn't begin to explain it. It's more than just a murder, more horrible than just a killing.
Uh-huh. Any details on what that could be?
It needs to be stopped. That's all.
Sorry. I know we got an arrangement, but my hands are tied.
No, they're not. You're
Fine,
smoking, quite
if
clearly.
that's the way it is.
For what it's worth, it's nothing personal. You got other questions, I'm here. Just don't ask about this case. You get me?
Yeah, I get you.
Nope. Alright, let's go in and ask about that case.
You really don't want to go in there.
Oh, really?
Look, you and I have an arrangement. I have to keep it quiet, but it works. You go in there and start bugging my colleagues,
Oh,
and
look,
come back
we'll
to
even
bite
more
both
full
our
price.
asses. And neither of us wants that.
Okay, fine.
What if I send Joey in there instead?
Keep our friend busy. I'm gonna sniff around.
Yeah, you might be able to find out information on there.
Not that I don't appreciate the company, but why the heck are you just standing there?
Oh, I was just admiring the brickwork.
You haven't
The
got
brick.
better at lying, that's awesome.
Sure. When was this building built? 1950s?
I got no idea.
Low-rise bonding, very typical of the era.
Whatever.
A water cooler in case the scorching hot weather gets too much for you.
Oh, Joey.
Pretty cold to be just standing around.
Isn't that what you're doing?
I'm a cop in front of a cop station. What's your excuse?
I'm a cop's
I'm,
friend.
Waiting for a cab?
On a night like this, might take a while.
Guess I'll be standing here for a while.
It says authorized personnel only beyond this point. Fortunately, I think that only applies to living people.
I was gonna say, I will walk past.
At the
Ooh.
bottom are the words Alex Silva, Commissioner.
There we go.
Thing with
See?
me standing
Alex
around,
Silva, I remembered.
Kind of weird.
I told you, I'm waiting for a cab.
The subway's just 2 blocks that way.
Device.
The stairs are icy?
Just a cop
enough.
manning the front desk.
Let's look at this
A modern
device.
gizmo. Probably some kind of phone. It usually is.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Looks like some kind of duty roster. Nothing relevant.
Okay. Well. Hey there, person.
No reaction. That's cops for you.
Alright.
It leads to the rest of the station.
Then go further. Oh, there's our suspect board with probably his name on it.
The plaque on the door reads Interrogation Room A.
Ah, maybe we're going to be coming back here then. 'Cause this is rather extensive for just a single...
Just a small interrogation room. It's empty. The plaque on the door says Interrogation Room B.
So how do you... Where's the mirrors that people look through?
Just a small interrogation room. It's empty.
You can't look at the Disher.
The name on this nameplate says Disher.
Oh,
I have
okay.
no idea who that could be.
I mean, anybody.
According to the nameplate, this desk belongs to someone named Disher. I have no idea who that could be.
Right, but... Oh, that's the desk. Elevator.
That elevator should go to the rest of the police station.
Alright, we'll get in it then.
Just as I thought, it's an elevator shaft.
Good. I'm glad it is. This is your desk, I assume?
It
No.
says Piero. I have no idea who that is.
No, who is Duncan?
According to the
Well, where is
nameplate, this
Durkins?
desk belongs to someone named Piero. I have no idea who that could be.
Alright, let's look at the bulletin board. Give me your name. Do not talk to the press.
There's our
George
guy. His
Austin.
name is George Austin, according to this note. Looks like he lived on the Upper West Side.
So now we'll try and find Grace Austin.
That's definitely the spook we saw. According to this note, his name is George Austin.
Alright. Yeah, I know you meant the computer in the lobby, but that wasn't a thing that you could interact with. Alright, we'll show you. there is no pop-up for here, just the officer. Can I switch back to Rosa? I can. Alright, let's exit. Oh, I could have... Well, let's go home. Oh no, you're going to take off your coat. Alright, we won't be coming back here as often. Search. George Austin? Am I spelling that right? I don't know. I would have to go back and look. And nobody can do that. Unless I have notes. Yeah, there we are.
The ghost we saw last night said that Grace wasn't safe, and then he went.
Right. But I assume that it's Grace Austin. No? Okay, alright. Well, off we go to place. Can I skip this animation? No. Off we go to George Austin.
This is some
Thanks for
lobby.
telling me I did.
Careful you don't break anything, we'll be in hock for life. Well, your life anyway, not mine.
I mean, you're already dead.
That vase looks more expensive than everything in my apartment put together.
That's not true. Griff is worth millions as an antique bear. Yeah? Oh, lights.
How did they change the bulbs on that thing?
The same way you change the bulbs on things which are out of your reach. You get a stepladder.
I don't recognize the artist, but it looks peaceful enough.
No, just the
He's
doormat.
watching my every move.
Oh, hold on. Joey, get blowing.
Damn drafts. Need to report that before someone complains.
Oh, wow.
Tasteful and harmless. I suppose it suits a place like this.
No, I'm trying to look at those lights.
Is that thing really necessary? One strong wind from outside and out go the lights. That's not bad, I guess.
Well, you can go past, but I guess the doorman's gonna stop. Oh, what's in this box?
Looks like it's full of old clothes.
Oh,
Don't know what I can do with it.
Goodwill? Holiday clothing drive. It's a cold... Oh. It's a cold this winter. No? I don't know. Please leave your old clothes in the box below for people less fortunate than you. George Oten, apartment 12A. It's cold. That's an S? I guess it could be.
It says Holiday Clothing Drive.
I could have done this.
It's cold this winter. Please leave your old clothes in the box below for people less fortunate than you. It's signed by George Austin.
Good. And now we know what apartment he's in. 12A.
Just an elevator?
Indeed. But an elevator shaft you could walk into. Ooh, elevator shaft.
Yep, it's an elevator, all right.
If there isn't an achievement for walking into every elevator shaft, I will be disappointed. Exactly, into the shaft! I'm gonna shaft Joey so many times. He said, regretting that instantly. I'm gonna walk past and see what you say. You're not going to stop me. Oh, you're not going to
Miss,
stop me.
I'm sorry, but you can't go back there. Residents only.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Did you say something to me? I've forgotten already. I can't
I'd
hear you
better
over
not
my
push my luck.
Can't
If
hear
I
you
know
over my
anything, it's
earmuffs.
not to argue with a determined doorman.
I guess you do know that. That happened in the very first game, didn't it? Wow, callbacks. Hey there, doorman.
He's watching my every move.
Did I look at you with Joey?
Smart uniform, clean cut, seems
I didn't.
dedicated to his job.
I just went
We
straight
ain't
to blowing
sneaking
on you.
past this guy. Hopefully we won't have to.
Alright. Hey, I'm Rosa. I'm here to talk to you. Possibly throw coffee in your face if you get in my way.
Hi.
Yes, miss?
Clothing drive.
I'm looking for George Austin. Is he in?
No, he's not. Sorry.
I mean, I don't have to ask about his apartment. Or his...
Do you know where George Austin is?
I really couldn't say. Sorry.
Thank you. So let's just do clothing drive.
I heard that George Austin was having a clothing drive here.
Oh, yes. George does it every year. He brings the box to Grace himself.
Oh. I thought Grace was going to be his... Alright, tell me more.
Can you tell me anything else about the clothing drive?
No, but if you have any old clothes, feel free to give them to me. I'll put them in the box.
Better not. If you did that, you wouldn't have any clothes left.
I was going to say, you're going to run out of clothes if you do that. Who is Grace?
You said that George takes the clothes to Grace.
Yes, he does. He has an attachment to the place, even though we've got a fine church in this area.
Okay.
Church? So by Grace, you meant Grace Church?
Yeah, the one downtown. What did you think I meant?
Nothing.
Person.
Never mind. Thanks.
But it was Grace Austin. Alright. New location. Can I go up?
Is there any way I can look inside George's apartment? It's really important.
Sorry. Unless you've been authorized, I can't let you in.
I am authorized. I'm authorized with... something. Search before you leave. Search Grave Church. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Grace Church. Grace Church, Manhattan, 800 to 804 Broadway. Grace Church is a historic parish church in Manhattan, New York City, which is part of the Episcopal Diocese of New York. Grace Church is the National Historic Landmark designated for its architectural significance and placed within the history of the New York City. Rector Gabriel Ullman. Ullman! Too many L's, but hey, who knew? Who knew? I mean, it'll probably just come up with this. Nope. Okay. New York Theological Seminary alumni. Attended from 1989 to 1993. Currently based at Grace Church, New York, New York. Alright. Can I take photos? Doesn't look like it. No new emails. I guess we're moving on. Grace Church. I don't like that George Austin is somehow before the police station. Hey.
Huh. A church. Of all the places.
Really? Ghosts don't like churches?
Being a ghost has nothing to do with it.
I mean, yeah.
Weekend organ meditations. It says Grace Church in New York, Episcopal, Reverend Gabriel Ullman, Rector.
Yep, knew that.
It says Grace Church. Of course, we knew that already.
How many signs do you need telling everybody this is Grace Church? Anything else from the other one?
Weekend?
No, they're both the same. Alright, Joey, give us your rundown.
Weekend organ meditations. Positively thrilling. It says Grace Church in New York, Episcopal, Reverend Gabriel Ullman, Rector. It says Grace Church. They really need a sign. It's not like this place is easy to miss.
Nope.
Pretty solid, but it looks unlocked.
It leads into the church.
Thank you for that insight. Oh, hold on. We've got other places. Ah. Are you the rector? You can trust lots of people called Ullman. At least 4 of them? 5. 5 of them. At least 5. Not including Andrew Ullman's mother.
He looks pretty deep in thought.
Yeah, he does.
It's a book full of handwritten prayers. I don't know much about church organs, but it seems nice enough.
You can blow on people, Joey. Are you actually moving air? Could you produce a note through, like, a flute or something? But not this organ, obviously, because I think that would be too much. Or are you just making people cold by, I don't know, releasing some of your ectoplasm on things?
A book on a pedestal. No idea what it's for.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, but I did not want to say it out loud about the organ
Fancy
meditations.
joint like this, I'd expect something with a bit more gravitas.
It's period piece.
He's leaning forward and his eyes are closed. He's either praying or sleeping.
Well, wake him up by blowing on him.
No reaction. Probably feels drafts all the time in a joint like this.
Alright, well, go over there and read the book.
This book is full of prayers written by the church's congregation. They're all anonymous and they're all written by hand.
Oh, are we trying to get a handwriting comparison? Please God, let the chemo work. I don't know what I'll do without her. I have been 6 months without a drink. Please help me last another 6. Let my uncle get exactly what he deserves. Ooh. I don't know what to do. I'm so lost. If you're out there, please help. Please help my family through this horrible time. We have already been through so much. Is there a light at the end of this tunnel? Is darkness all there is? Is suicide the only answer? I don't really want to die. Let me find another way. I love him. Does he love me? Please let my father wake up so I can tell him I am sorry. If my son is with you, God, tell him I love him and miss him, and his baby daughter will want for nothing. I want to always be as happy as this. Lost my job, it's all my fault. What do I tell my wife? What do I do?
These prayers just go on and on. There must be dozens of them. I don't have time to read them all.
Yes, you do. Night never goes on. I think it might be this one. But that's random guessing because it's just so generic. Go over
I
and play
better
it.
not. Especially with that priest in plain view.
Why not? Be fun. I'm guessing Joey can't interact with the book. Oh, he can.
I can't turn the page.
Was the other one... Was the other one written? It was, wasn't it? So... Oh, God. Alright, Joey, stay over here. Rosa... Let's do this one at a time. And swap to Joey, and then look at the book. No. Wait, no. Swap to Joey. I pressed the tab key. No, I didn't. I pressed the caps lock key. Do you recognize this? Do you reckon?
I can't.
No? Okay. Next.
I can't.
No, cannot swap while in there. Switch over. Look at the book. Turn the page. Exit. Go over here. Look at the book.
I can't.
No? Okay. Exit. I will try to blow the organ. Look at the book. Turn the page. Exit. Do this. I might be doing this for no reason. This might be rubbish.
I can't.
But you know, maybe. This is thrilling, isn't it? I'm certain that everybody is thrilled by watching me there.
I can't turn.
No?
I can't. I can't.
Did I read that one? Please let my father wake up so I can tell him I am sorry. Or is it changing them? To always be this happy. No, I lost my job. No, those are both the ones I've seen before.
I can't.
If any of these handwritten prayers are useful, flipping through blindly isn't the answer. I need to narrow it down somehow.
I mean, Joey knows the thing. But alright, okay. Joey, blow organ.
I'm not just gonna blow on everything I see.
You will if I tell you to. Alright, Rosa. try talking to the priest.
Hi, could I talk to you for a minute?
I did read that one, did I?
Please keep your voice down.
Oh, sorry. Is this better?
Yes. What can I do for you?
I can introduce yourself.
I'm Rosangela Blackwell.
Father Gabriel Ullman.
Ullman. Why the whispers?
Why the whispers? There isn't anybody around.
That makes no difference. The tranquility of this place must be maintained, whether anybody is here or not, especially on a night like tonight.
Why a night like tonight?
It's pretty quiet here tonight.
God's house remains open despite the weather. If anybody needs us, we are here.
Could you tell me about that book over there?
For some, silent prayer isn't enough. They want to write it down and make it real. That is what that book is for.
Alright, well, let's ask you about Grace Church.
Could you tell me about this church?
Are you looking to join?
Not really.
I'm afraid now is not the time for a history lesson.
Yes, it is. Because I am asking for one.
Do you know a man named George Austin?
I'm afraid not.
He was a member of this church. Are you sure?
It is quite a large church, as you can see. I'm afraid I am not familiar with George Austin.
He delivered clothes here. Maybe he didn't. Maybe...
Are you sure you don't know George Austin?
I am positive. I am sorry.
Yeah, clothing drive, exactly.
George Austin was holding a clothing drive that brought clothes to this church. Are you sure you haven't heard of him?
Miss, we deal with hundreds of clothing drives at this time of year. Some we arrange ourselves, while most are volunteers. It is not possible to keep track of every single one.
Yes, it is. And indeed, I think you should be made to. Should you not?
Well, thanks. I'll be going.
Stay safe. This is not a night to be outside.
Why?
I better not.
No, Joey, move out of the way. Have a look at the book again.
It's a book full of...
And this is just gonna... Yeah, alright, okay. Well, I guess we're going outside then. And then we'll go... No, no, I didn't actually want to exit. Oh, this is a different... Hold on.
If the people who go to these churches worry about their souls so much, they should try dying sometime.
That was a different exit. I will have to look at that again. First of all, let's look around over here. Ah, okay. So I went in that door and out that door. Weird.
It's a schedule of services. Nothing is going on at the moment. It leads into the church.
Yeah, it does. Alright, Joey, looks like you're going into the church all on your own lonesome. Let's see if you pick up
looks
anything.
like a schedule of service.
No! That's not what I said.
And say what exactly?
Right, Joey, go in on your own. No, Rosa. Hey, how about I give you some coffee? In the
He can get his
face!
own.
No? Alright. Well, let's look up Ullman again. I'm guessing you can't look up New York Theological Seminary. Oh, you can't even fit in the last letter, so no. Coffee on Joey. Yeah, exactly. There was a thing you meant to do that you didn't do. What did I mean to do that I didn't do? Apart from throw coffee on Joey.
Not now.
Not now, so I'm gonna throw coffee on Joey later.
I don't have much coffee left. I don't want to waste it.
Yeah, you do.
I don't have much coffee.
Back at the Austin residence. Alright. Well, I will go back to the Austin residence. I mean, I could offer coffee to you, or I could smash the vase.
I don't see why he'd need that.
No. Right, Joey, go over there.
Looks like it's full of...
Yeah, and there's the note.
It says... It's signed by George... It says... It's signed...
Right, and we know it's 12A. I went into the shaft. I mean, I can talk to you again.
Hi.
Yes, miss?
Do you know where...
I really...
Can you tell me anything else about the clothing drive?
No. But if you have...
Better not.
Is there any way I can look...
Sorry.
I mean...
Can you tell me...
If you...
Are you sure?
No.
Why did George go to Grace Church instead of a local one?
I couldn't say. Sorry.
Is there anything else I can do? I mean, I can put my coffee inside the vase.
I don't have much coffee left.
I don't know why I'd do that, though.
Better not. I don't want to break it. I'm barely in the black as it is.
Talk
I
about
don't
the painting?
recognize... That thing is huge. I'd never be able to carry it.
Meh. I mean, I can try going past.
I'd better not push my luck.
I mean...
If I know anything, it's not to argue with a determined doorman.
As I try to go past, I could say, hey, I'm here to pick up the clothes. Seeing as George is dead. Dead! He's dead! Dead! No? There's something I can do as Joey.
What do you want me to do? Blow on it?
No. Have Joey blow the paper. There's no paper. Oh, right, yes, that paper. That's an interesting thing that I never thought of. I don't think I ever thought of saying that. But yeah, okay. That works, because now you have a sample of his handwriting.
Whatever Joey did, the doorman doesn't seem to have noticed.
Good. Now you can pick it up and compare.
Dropped my pen.
No, I'm bending down to pick up something that's on the floor that you haven't noticed. Because you're a horrible, horrible doorman, and I'm not keeping this place clean. How dare you? I will report you to the people, and they will fire you. Thank you for that, having Joey blow the paper.
It's a
I don't
handwritten
remember
note from
mentioning
George
that I was
Austin,
going to do
asking
that,
the
yeah.
residents of his building to donate old clothes to charity. I'm sure they won't miss it.
Ah, it's too late. I got it now.
It says, Holiday Clothing Drive. It's cold this winter. Please leave your old clothes in the box below for people less fortunate than you. It's signed by George Austin.
Yep. Now, we can compare and contrast. You thought this was anonymous, but it isn't, because I can work out which one is yours.
With this sample of George's handwriting, I might be able to find something written
I
by
mean,
him.
Joey saw the handwriting.
Gotcha.
So, you could have done that. Alright, this place always brought me and Leah, new person, Leah solace. Despite everything, it still does. Is this really what I must do? It seems impossible. I'm finding my faith is shaken to its very core. Please help me find the strength to fight this battle. If not for me, then for Leah and the others.
I don't need to turn to any other page.
Right, I know, I wanted you to, read it all out.
I don't need to...
Do you want to comment on it, note it down, anything? No? So now I have to search for Leah Austin? No? Is it not Leah? His place always brought me and L-I-A. That is a capital L, right? Tia? I mean, I could just go through everything. Ask Pastor about Leah. Yeah, that's true.
Hi again.
Yes.
But, oh, I do have a Leah in there now. I didn't think my notes got updated. It never said notes
Do
updated.
you know a woman named Leah? I think she was a member of this church.
Even if she was, I'm afraid the name eludes me. I'm sorry.
Well,
Stay.
So what if I now notes, combine notes.
George wrote Leah's name down in a prayer. Whatever kind of relationship they have, he must care for her a lot.
It doesn't update with Leah Orson.
Leah's name was mentioned in George's prayer at Grace Church.
It did say, did it?
Was she a member?
I didn't see that.
George wrote Leah's
somehow.
name down in a prayer. Leah's name was mentioned.
Oh, then yeah, Leah might be at the apartment. Might have been a neighbour rather than somebody, than his wife or daughter or whatever. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, miss?
No, that. Leah.
Did George know anyone named Leah?
Leah? You mean the police officer?
Police officer?
Yeah. Haven't seen her around for a while, though. Did they break up or something?
I have no idea.
Too bad if so. I liked her. She was good for George.
Leah is a cop. Well. Alright. Thanks. Now. Well, let's see if we can call Sam and not go there. Although I suspect it will be
There's no answer.
one of the two people at the police station. Hey Sam, you still out here? I want to talk to you about Leah. Who is Leah?
Detective?
Uh-huh.
So, George Austin was involved with a police officer named Leah. That's it, isn't it? All the secrecy. It's because the police are involved.
You want to get us both in trouble?
Of course not. I want to help you. Look what I discovered already.
Look, I keep my distance from you for a reason. I know you got your sources. I don't know who they are, but you have a way. That goes without saying. Leah Piero is a fine
Piero.
detective. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Maybe you can help, maybe you can't. But I know you're gonna stick your nose in no matter what I say.
Sorry, but I have to.
Yeah, I get that. I can't stop you, but I can't help you either. You're on your own.
Believe me, Detective, if there's anything I'm not, it's on my own.
We'll
Dun
just
dun dun. Alright, now we know. And we know Leah Piero. We know Piero's.
Well,
Uh-huh.
Alright, now. You got anything to tell me about Leah Piero? Without that thing here? Piero? Yeah, we'll have a look on the desk in a minute. Piero. I did spell it right. He said, and then went, I don't know if I spelled it right or not. I assume I did. Yes, I'm afraid I have already started. And you have missed many of my fumblings. And indeed, you missed voting on which person got to investigate Griff first of all. Alright. Piero. Aha! Is that George?
Cute kid.
Ah, I know you. I think I know you, anyway. This, I will be quiet.
I'm terrible with these things at the best of times, let alone one that seems to be powered down.
Anyway,
I assume it's a telephone, although it's hard to tell these days.
alright, there's an envelope, that's probably
The
what we
journal
want.
is labeled Midtown Jaywalking Citations 2001 to 2004. Interesting light reading.
I was going to say, riveting stuff.
This folder seems to be full of old expense reports. Too many to go through even if I could open it.
Yep, this is Leah Piero's desk, all right.
Alright, and now envelope. Now we've got your address. Alright, Leah Piero, we're coming for you. And can I just walk out of here? Come
Hey.
on, Joey. What?
I don't know where you're going, and I ain't gonna ask. Just don't step on any toes, okay? We cops can get pretty touchy when it concerns one of our own.
Usually, it's very
Yeah,
difficult for
so
me
do
to
I.
step on anybody's toes that I interact with because they don't have any legs, because
What do
they're
you mean by that?
ghosts.
Exactly what it sounded like. Whoever George was, he was one of us.
Alright, well,
Us?
I mean...
Yeah. Come on. It's a long way to Astoria.
Is it? Alright, okay. Yes, when we get to a relevant point, I will say, aha, this is what I know. Oh, they finally had
So,
animated
this is what a
backgrounds
cop's
as well.
salary
I
gets
didn't
you,
realise
huh?
that.
A two-story in Astoria.
It's not bad. Nicer than some of the foster homes I grew up in. Anyway, shall we?
Yeah, we both know the drill by now.
Is this the same place?
Whoever made this snowman made it a long time ago. Several weeks at least.
Joey, can you move? So I can. No, I can't pick up the hat. All right, but Joey, tell
Never
us
did
about the
make a
snowman.
snowman back in the day. I suppose it's too late now.
Maybe.
The mailbox is a bit iced over, but shouldn't be too hard to open.
Why would I want to
The
do that?
Piero's front door, probably locked.
All right. I could melt the snowman with my coffee.
Locked.
Meh. I'm gonna
There's
go
a letter
digging.
in here. It was wet and stuck to the side of the mailbox, but I got it.
All right. What does it say?
This letter is soaking wet. It's practically falling apart in my hands.
The wired something. That's the return address. I mean, I could search for the wired something. The wired app. Oh, Oogle, you are rubbish. You are not as good as Google, where you could put in partial results and get something out. Oh, 163 what? East something or other. Maybe that isn't a B. Alright, let's look up the wired 163 and just see if it comes up. Oh, you stay up there. The wired 163. No, okay. Well then. Joey, it's time for you to look at this mailbox.
Just a mailbox.
Oh, hey, Joey. Blow on the
I'm
snowman.
not just gonna blow on everything I see.
Yes, you are.
It's the way inside. For living people, anyway.
And we're going in. Yeah, we'll try coffee on the snowman in a bit.
Hello?
Oh,
Seems quiet so far. Let me look around. Painting of some old guy looking out a window. Don't know if it's art or not, but it's okay. A dresser with some random knickknacks on top, nothing relevant. One of the many variations of phone. It's a picture of the Manhattan skyline. I guess if you live out here in Queens, you'd want a memento of civilization. It's a door, what can I say?
This. No, okay, it's not. I was gonna say.
Hello?
Yeah? Is anybody there?
Who are you? Mister? Are you looking for my mom?
Yes. Is she around?
Uh-huh. I have to practice. Sorry.
Damn it.
And there we go. Indeed, this is where I knew her from. She is in the other game. And to spoil what possibly spoil? I don't know. She becomes a Joey to somebody else as a spirit guide. So yeah, in Unavowed. Which, as I've already said, is an excellent game. But yeah, there we go. I didn't want to spoil the death reveal. So yeah. Nah, don't worry. I was going to say that. I mean, it is a spoiler, but not necessarily for me, and something I was going to reveal anyway, so yeah. Hey, it's
Just
a light
light
switch. Well, let's investigate
It's
the rest
just
of
a
the place.
fridge, humming quietly.
And look at these pictures. KK the Troll.
KK the Troll. Cute.
I believe that is also referenced in the other game.
It's just a...
Can I look at any other things? No, just that one picture. Paintings?
Painting of a vase of flowers. Why do people paint these things?
Why not?
An old fuse box. Planks of wood left over from some sort of building project.
Alright.
Just an empty shelf.
Well, come on down. See, that is not a shelf, but that is. Ooh.
A painting of some miserable old dame in a crinoline. Just a poster for some old junk car. A Christmas tree. Plastic, naturally.
Yeah, well, look at the important note on the
Kid's
floor
bike
in
with
a
a
bit.
crumpled front wheel.
Oh.
Some half-empty old plastic bottles.
Yeah.
The only light in this room is coming from the street lamp outside that window.
I didn't know how she died, but if she's got a crumpled front thing... Oh, no, that's a nothing.
A blown light bulb.
Alright, Joey. It's time for you to blow on a tree.
I'm not just gonna blow on everything I see.
No? What about poster?
I'm not just...
No, alright, fine. There could have been a hole behind the poster. Alright, let's try going upstairs. The important note on the floor is merely background material. And not an important note at all. Or at least not one that I can interact with right now.
Just a bedroom, pretty sparsely furnished. Nothing useful in here.
Alright, let's go through the door. And talk to the girl. I don't know how you're making those keys work. But hey.
She's left this shirt in the middle of the floor. I guess she won't be picking it up.
I was going to say, she's never going to be picking it up.
It's a stuffed globe of the earth.
Oh.
That bear looks like it's been sat on more than played with.
It's his fault if he doesn't get out of the way.
Cute, but I don't know the first thing about dollhouses.
That's okay. Neither do I. None of my dolls fit in there anyway.
I don't know much about these computer things, but it looks powered down. Looks to be some drawing of a little girl.
It's a self-portrait.
I can't see inside, but it looks like a Valentine's Day card.
It's from my dad.
That has always been weird.
It's really coming down hard.
To me. Why do you do that?
Some kind of
Octopus!
stuffed octopus.
His name is Cute Thulu.
Cute Thulu.
It's a stuffed panda.
She's Pandora the giant. Her home planet is the globe ball, but she's too big to go back. So she stays here.
That's cool.
Seems to be in good shape. Yep, still snowing outside.
You stay outside while I... First of all, I'm gonna blow on the little girl.
That wouldn't be appropriate.
No, it wouldn't. But, you know, I am trying all of these things. At a ghost.
Excuse me.
Oh, hi. I'm practicing.
I can see that. You're pretty good.
Thanks.
I'll only be a minute, then you can get back to it.
Well, okay.
Yeah, the characterization of this little girl has been pretty good, just from the random observations of the stuff in her room. And yeah, it's weird. Sometimes they do say it out loud, sometimes they don't say it out loud. I don't know. I'm not going to tell her she's dead right now. You can hear that soft piano music in the background as well, right? Of her practicing, even though she's facing away from me. Alright.
My name's Joey. What's yours?
Are you sure you should be here?
Sure.
I'm Kendra Haskins.
Kendra Haskins? Oh, she didn't take her husband's name. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Fine.
What about your dad? Is he around?
No, he's late.
Late? Late for what?
Picking me up? On Fridays we go to the Abacus, and then I live with him until Monday. But he's late.
Ooh.
You said you go to the Abacus.
It's his work.
Your dad takes you to work?
Mm-hmm. He's the boss.
Your dad's the boss, huh? He must be a very important man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So,
Can you tell me anything else about this Abacus place?
It's Dad's work. TVs and computers and stuff. He lets me play with them when nobody's around.
Cool.
Are you here all alone?
No, Mom's here.
Are you sure? I can't find her.
I'm pretty sure. I'd know if she was gone.
Kendra, I need you to tell me the last thing you remember.
Why?
Just humor me.
I was coming home from school and I came here. That's it.
Are you sure?
Yes, I've been waiting for my dad.
Hey, kiddo, I'd like you to come with me.
Why?
I mean, I really don't want to say any of these things. I don't want to get the kid to come with me. So, I'm going to take you to your dad is, I think, the line which she will use because she's waiting for her dad. But yeah. Ugh. Oh, the wired abacus. Yeah, that makes sense. Hold on. And yeah, abacus, you can count on us. That is why I groaned. I really don't want to.
I'm gonna take you to your dad.
Dad?
Yeah, he couldn't make it, so I was asked to take you.
What should I have for breakfast?
Eh?
Breakfast? What should I have for breakfast?
Cool.
I have no idea.
I have to practice.
Yep. Very, very well done. Absolutely brilliant. Yep. That is exactly how you do that sort of thing. For those not keeping up there, that is code phrase. Yeah? What should I have for breakfast? Blueberry muffins and strawberry waffles or something. And that means, hey, the dad has sent me, so I know it's safe to go with you. And if you keep trying to do that, then you scream and you shout and say, help, help, help. But yeah. Oh boy. I am not looking forward to
Joey,
telling you.
You alright?
No.
Yeah, sure, whatever. We got a spook.
Is it Leah Piero?
No, it's her daughter, a little girl.
I see. How old?
10, maybe 11?
And she's okay?
You mean besides being dead? Yeah, she's playing the piano.
Well.
Yeah, well.
Yep. So now, we try pouring coffee.
I don't have much
snowman.
coffee left. I don't want to waste it.
Alright. And now, we're going to look up the... Well, actually... Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to go back. Is there a way to go back? But anyway, if we do this... Oh, we can't combine it with anything. Alright. But yeah, we'll look up the wired abacus. Hey, wired abacus. City Post Tech Forum. The wired abacus, the first choice in blah blah blah. The wired abacus, the first choice in consumer electronics, has finally come to New York. Come visit us at 1 Union Square South, just seconds away from NRQW and 456 subway stops. Ooh, well, we can't get in there. And I guess we need to go talk.
Locked.
I mean, if we go... We're going to go to the abacus now, and we're going to say, hey, what's for breakfast? Because there's absolutely no reason for the dad not to tell us that what the password was. And hey look, moving car down here. Meow. I recently, I mean, you saw me replay Unbound on here, and then I went through Unbound again, just to listen to the director's commentary. And one of the things they were talking about, or Erin Andrews, who was the artist for that one, was talking about, was saying, hey, I would love to have been able to do a moving stuff on the map screen. And it's taken all this time, and they finally got to it. Well done. But yeah, maybe we will search the daughter's name as well. I don't think it was Hendrix.
So Kendra's dad is the boss of this place? This is just a bunch of junk.
So? Where's our notes? Haskins. There we go. Let's look up Kendra Haskins. I didn't catch your name. So, yeah. Alright. Window.
Union Square is usually filled with people at all hours. Not tonight, though. I think those are noise-canceling headphones.
That would be great. Noise-cancelling headphones that also act as ear warmers. Or ear
I
muffs.
remember that old cartoon. It must be on DVD now or something.
I don't recognise that one. I don't know what that is.
Flat-screen televisions. Much more recent models than the one I've got.
Oh, have you got a flat screen now? I didn't realise.
There's a new model already? Figures. The tag on his shirt says Jordan.
Jordan Haskins. I don't know that you are the dad, but alright.
The tag on...
Come on, Joey, give us your exciting
Union Square.
perspectives.
It hasn't changed much in the last 50 years or so. Those things get bigger and flatter every year. Don't know what that is, but it's giving me a headache. Those things...
Yeah, alright.
Those don't look terribly warm.
You're actually calling them earmuffs, that's great.
Looks like the hunk of plastic that Red carries around.
No, they don't.
Young guy. Looks pretty bored. Can't say I blame him.
A camera? Oh, up there. Yeah, I see. No, cameras do not pick up Joey. Well, that's not true. At the very least. Chemical cameras, the old style, yeah, with the light exposure and everything, the non-digital stuff, they do pick up Joey, but you can only see Joey if you are a medium. So whether video cameras actually pick him up as well, but only like Rosangela could see him, I don't know. That would be an interesting thing to find out. Maybe we will learn it over the course of this. And hey, Clerk. Hey, Jordan. Oh, there's more stuff over here as well.
Hi there.
Hi, can I help you?
You look too young to be the boss.
I'm surprised you're open with the weather this bad.
Yeah, me too. But I only live 2 blocks away, and I could use the overtime.
Cool. Don't want to get the manager just yet.
Sure.
Some celebrity is being interviewed on a late-night talk show. I have no idea who either of them are. I guess I've been a bit out of touch lately. The sign says Emil Haskins, manager.
Okay, there we go.
Looks like a controller for a game console. Not sure which one.
I mean, it's vaguely PlayStation-y shaped. Anything more? No, okay. So now let's search and see if there's any for Emil Haskins. Okay. I mean, I have no idea how Emil Haskins gets us this. But hey, alright. Hey. Oh, I should have got Joey to... Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Thanks.
Sure.
I haven't done the important thing of Joey blowing on a person.
Damn it. Did the AC kick on again? I'm gonna freeze to death in here.
I just can't... Some vapid talk show.
Yep.
The sign says Emil Haskins, manager. Some kind of neck brace? I have no idea what that thing is.
That's great. I love that. Alright.
Hi again.
Mm-hmm.
Can I speak to a manager, please? No, I know Emil. I just need to chat to him.
I'm looking for
in?
the manager. Emil Haskins, I think his name is.
Mr. Haskins? He's not in. Taking time off for personal stuff, I think. I'm not sure when he'll be back.
Thanks.
Sure.
Alright then. Looks like you, Joey, get to go through a door.
A bunch of discarded papers.
Yep.
A bunch of meetings and appointments are written down on this thing. Nothing really stands out, but the weekends are all labeled Kendra.
This isn't depressing at all.
It says call Joe. I have no idea who that could be. Looks like an internal memo, some kind of technical stuff. It's all Greek to me.
Some keys?
The tag has Leah Pierrot's address on it. Best guess, it's the key to her house.
Alright.
I don't know much about these moose things, but I've seen Red use them often enough.
Can we blow on the moose in order to make the background go away and look at him and his daughter eating at a breakfast place?
Some kind of animation is playing. I think Red calls this a screen saver. Whatever it is, I'm glad I don't have a stomach anymore.
Yeah.
It's a phone, or some variation thereof.
Can blow. Alright, let's blow on the moose. There,
Huh,
I moved it.
Whatever I did, it worked.
Exeter House. With him and Kendra.
What a surprise, nothing happens.
Yep.
What a surprise. What a surprise.
I'm just looking at things now. Alright, so Exeter House. I suppose you can blow on the key, can you?
That would just push it onto the floor.
Yeah, alright.
It says call. I have no idea.
It's a phone.
No, alright.
I'm not just gonna.
Alright, well I assume we call Joe using the telephone, which has some sort of numbery thing on it.
It's a trash can. Pretty typical as these things go.
Boxes of office junk. Don't know what's inside.
Well, stick your head inside and find out.
Must I define intangible?
Yes, please do. I'm not
The
sure you
light
know what it
barely
means.
pierces the gloom. Boxes of office. Someone wrote quarterly earnings on the cover. Positively riveting. I'm not just. I couldn't know. A bunch of ledgers stacked up against the wall. Interesting reading for some people, but not to me.
Can you blow these papers?
I'm not just.
No. That's not what I meant to do. Alright, can you... Oh! Can we blow the moose enough?
Nothing happened.
No. I was wondering if we could blow the moose so that you could use the screen. Can't look in the desk. Oh, there's a vent. No, can't do anything with that. I'm just gonna walk in through the door, because, you know...
Locked, of course.
I can call Joey. Oh, I can get Joey to come here. Can I swap my earmuffs for headphones?
Tempting, but I don't need them. Tempting, but I'm not here to steal a television.
Why not?
Hi
Hey there,
again.
Clark.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way I can get into the manager's office?
Did he give you permission to go in there?
Yes, of course he did.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Oh, then he should have given you the code.
Code?
Yeah, for the keypad next to the door.
What is the
You wouldn't
code?
know what the code to the door is.
No, nobody ever told it to me. Sorry.
Are you sure you have no idea what the code is?
I told you, I have no idea.
Alright,
Thanks.
Sure.
let's look at the... Okay, so it's a 4-number code. Alright. Come on, no, exit. Who knows how to read an abacus? Is this it here? In plain sight? One, two, three, four. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
I remember that old cartoon. It must be on D.
Oh. I mean, it's not gonna be. No, it's the 456 subway stops and then NRQW. Right, I thought it was 4 numbers there. You know what? No, okay, not 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. What's the envelope? No, 163 East. Is there anything else I can do with this? You know what I can do? No, I want to steam it open with the hot steam from the coffee. No?
Thank God for 20. I should have an.
No? Alright, fine. Not that then. Go away, envelope. There we go. I can't
It's a
remember.
handwritten note from George.
Okay, that's what that was. I couldn't remember. Alright. Well, let's switch to Joey.
A bunch of meetings and appointments are written.
When's Kendra's birthday? Because that would be... Search Exeter House. I mean, I can search Exeter House, but I don't know... Oh. Impeccable maintained, full service. Anyway, Exeter House, 265 Avenue A. Impeccable maintained, full service, pet friendly, co-op building, prime village location, running lands, co-signer guarantees, and pt2. Alright, yeah, looks like we can't do... Maybe we can, but I don't know. No, I know the cool Joey button is still up. Alright, well... Exeter House then.
It says Exeter House.
Right, yes, because that's where he lives.
It's the front door. Pretty solid. It's frosted on the inside. I can't see through. Emil seems to be on the 5th floor.
Cool. Alright. Hey Joey, what do you make of all of this stuff?
It says just the front door. It's frosted glass. I can't see through it.
Oh no, if only you had an intangible head, you could put through the window
Just
to
the
look
front
inside.
door. Bunch of names on this thing. Emil Haskins is up on the 5th floor. Typical brownstone, tiny hallways, many apartments. There are too many to search them one by one.
You don't need to. You need to go to the one where it says on the 5th floor what number he's in. I mean, but anyway, after they created the idea that, hey, Joey can walk through doors and things and go into other places, they must have hated that every single one must have gone, I wanted to try to walk through this door with Joey, but couldn't.
It leads to a small fire escape.
Alright. Oh, sorry, not door. Buzzer.
Locked. Didn't expect anything else, really.
Good.
Here he is, Emil Haskins.
Buzz it.
Hello?
Hi, is this Emil?
Yes, that's me. Who is this?
My name is Rosangela Blackwell. Could I come in? I'd like to ask you some questions.
You mean there's been progress?
I'm not sure. I'm just trying to learn what happened.
You're not with the police?
No,
I'm
they
a
won't talk
private
to me.
investigator.
I'm hoping you will.
They won't talk to me either. Come on up.
Solidarity through
Rosangela
hating,
Blackwell, was it?
Yes,
hating of the
that's me.
police.
Come on in. I should have guessed you weren't with the police. I've spoken to enough cops lately to know the difference. So, you said you're trying to learn what happened?
I mean, it might be.
What exactly
too
do
far
you
away,
know?
you're right. I mean, all of those things are true. But I'm going to say Kendra is dead.
I know that Kendra is dead. I'm sorry.
What? No, we don't know that. Nobody knows that. Not yet. Someone took her and she's missing, not dead.
Oh, shit.
Of course, I'm sorry.
The police might have given up on her, but I haven't. She's out there, somewhere. I know it.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize you guys didn't know. I thought that's why everything was shut up, etc., and you were all closed down. Dang. Alright. Well, there we go. Revelations. George Austin was killed.
George Austin was killed last night.
What? George is dead?
You didn't know?
No, of course not. You think the police tell the ex-husband anything? Ex-wife and daughter go missing. I'm suspect number one. How did it happen?
He was shot.
Shot? Jesus. I can't say I liked the guy. Leah dumped me for him after all, but Jesus. I always figured he was into something shady, but I thought it was more white collar. Insider trading or whatever. But someone shooting him? That's like mob stuff. Is that what's going on? Was he in the mob?
I don't know.
Jesus, Leah, some police detective you are hooking up with a mobster.
He's not a mobster.
I don't know if that's what happened.
I hope not. If it did, I'll never forgive her.
Indeed. If Leah is just straight up missing, then yeah, alright. Okay, so you work up the Wild Abacus. I need access to inside your... Well, I don't need to go in there.
Real glamorous, right?
I wouldn't know.
It's a job, is all I can say. I'm able to afford the rent on this shoebox apartment, at least.
Hey, what's the number to get into your place at the Wild Abacus? You know, because... I mean, I don't think there's actually anything in there I need anymore, but it's a door that I can open. So, you know, tell me. Hey, tell me about yourself.
Can you tell me anything about yourself?
Is it relevant?
Well, it could be.
Well, I'm a tech nerd. Worked for a bunch of startups back in the late 90s. Now I work at a chain store. Moved into this place about 5 years ago. Rented it from some Indian lady. Rent in this city is highway robbery, but there's no way I'm moving further away from my little girl.
Anything else?
Can you tell me anything else about yourself?
Tech nerd, ex-husband, father. That's pretty much it.
Can you tell me anything?
Tech nerd.
No, alright. Tell me about Leah.
What did you do when Leah disappeared?
Got grilled by the cops for 3 days. Even though there was no way I could have done it. I was at work, and I don't know if you've been to that store, but it's got cameras everywhere.
We
but
have.
I just stood by and took the abuse. Just on the off chance I would say something that could help them. Obviously, I didn't.
Anything else?
How did you and Leah meet?
I met her about 15 years ago. She was just a beat cop then. I was working for a small startup trying to make it big. Our office got robbed, and she showed up to take a statement. It was love at first sight, or something anyway. We were married for about 10 years, been divorced for about 5.
I mean, it's not what Kendra has for breakfast. It's what Kendra responds to when she is asked that question. Or when that question is asked. It's not necessarily what she eats. It's a code phrase. Just because I say, I like red pelicans, does not mean that I actually like red pelicans.
Can you tell me anything else about Leah?
What else can I say? Great cop, good mother, passable wife. That about covers it.
Oh, possible.
Can you tell...
What else can...
Alright. You know anything about Grace Church?
Are you familiar with Grace Church?
Me? No. But Leah used to go there before we were married. She was really hung up on the place.
I wonder if that's how George Austin met Grace. Grace wasn't safe. Is that where Leah is? Maybe? No, that doesn't make sense, because if they... I don't know.
Are you familiar with Grace Church?
Me? No, she was...
How well did you know George Austin?
Leah's the one who knew him. They'd been friends for years. She talked about him sometimes.
What did she say?
Well, that's the thing. I got the impression he was kind of a loser.
A loser?
No career, living with his parents, that kind of thing. She felt bad for him. But then we get divorced, and he turns up, wearing designer suits and living in a penthouse.
Yeah, that's a change.
Shoebox.
That's weird. Are you siphoning off good energies from people?
Is there anything else you can tell me about George?
No. I don't want to think about him. I just can't.
I don't hate red pelicans, although you could clip that bit so that it just said hate red pelicans. But yeah, no, they're just not my favourite animal, or bird, or even pelican.
Is there anything else you can tell me about George?
No, I don't want to think about him. I just can't.
Alright, so now, tell me about dead Kendra. I mean, Kendra who is definitely alive and missing, and not dead. What is the code phrase you use?
How did you find out Kendra was missing?
Her school called. The same day her mother didn't show up for work. They thought she was with me. I wish she was.
Tell me more.
Do the police know anything?
No. Not that they would tell me if they did.
Of course they... well...
Tell me about Kendra.
She started to play the piano last year. We didn't have to make her do it. She wanted to learn. That's Kendra. Quiet, but brilliant. Full of life.
She's dead!
Was a
dead!
Mistake, I'd do it all again.
She is not full of life anymore.
Is there anything you can tell me about Kendra? Anything at all?
Just find her and tell me she's okay.
I'll do my best.
Tell me about her breakfast.
Is there anything you can tell?
Just find her.
I'll do.
Is that going to be a thing out here? No, what? I want to ask more. Oh.
Can you tell me?
No.
Is there?
Just.
I'll do my.
She's dead.
Can you tell
man.
What else can I say?
Are you
Me? She was.
Is there?
No.
Because if I say leave,
well,
we're gonna
I'll
walk
see you
out,
later,
right?
Emil.
Yeah. Sure. See ya.
Joey.
Hey, wait. Why are you doing this? You said you weren't with the police, so why?
I consult sometimes. Your little girl who is dead, I mean missing, and your wife who is missing, maybe dead? They don't matter at all. There's so much more to it than what you believe. You are just a pawn in this massive web of conspiracies of police horribleness.
There's much more at stake.
Maybe. I don't care about the big picture.
Exactly.
Can you help her or not?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
It's what I do.
I mean, the fact that she doesn't
Poor
move
guy.
on?
He's grieving, and he doesn't even know it yet.
It never gets easier.
Can I? Yay!
The front door. It's locked. Typical.
Is that exit? That is exit. And that's also exit. Well, Joey, it's time for you
It's the front door.
to go in through the front door and see if you overhear him talking about breakfasts.
That thing needs a date with a needle and thread, or a fireplace.
Ah, no, I can't blow him. He's not here. Wait, that sounds bad. I cannot blow on him with Joey.
Lots of books on accounting and business
Or
management.
not bad,
oh, and a
but
couple of comic
suggestive, I
books.
should say.
Lots of
that?
books on accounting and business management. Oh, and a couple of comic books.
Well, the comic books have got to be Kendra's.
Some kind of oil painting, I think. I can't tell what it's supposed to be.
There's a phone.
Phone, I think. It's hard to tell these days.
No, wait, no, don't go to the back room. Stop. Stop moving. Oh, alright. Well, we'll
Emil
go.
is in here, lying on the bed and staring at the ceiling. I should just leave him alone.
Photograph. Oh, well, she's eating cake. Oh, 1029.
I guess that's the date the picture was taken?
Yep, and also the key to the office.
It's Emil. He looks leagues different than the sad sack we've been talking to.
Well, I mean, he's got hair for a start.
That's definitely the little girl I saw. I guess that hat belongs to her mother.
Not anymore. She's wearing it. It's the little girl's now.
He is a cop, all right. She must have still been a beat cop when this was taken.
$10.29 it is then. At the door and into the abacus. Oh, I could have just swapped, couldn't I? Never mind. Exit. And to the white abacus. Hi, don't mind me, just going into the manager's office after having mysteriously been away for a while. In we go. Now we can look at all of these things with... Oh, Joey's not here.
Emil's calendar is full of various meetings, appointments, and due dates. None of it means anything to me, but he's labeled every weekend with the word Kendra. Piles of discarded papers. They don't seem relevant.
Maybe they do?
They look like account ledgers. The words quarterly earnings are written on the cover.
I have no idea how long we were away talking to Emil there, but obviously it wasn't long enough for the screensaver to come back on, or they have a very bad screensaver.
It's also used as a storage room.
And it's not going to save many screens whatsoever.
I can see a bit of Union Square, but not much else.
Alright, time to look at the computer. Yes, keys to the house.
According to the label, this should get me into Leah Piero's house. I'd better leave them here.
Yeah, but read them.
Huh, another My Phone upgrade is coming out in 6 months. Didn't one just come out last week? It says, call Joe.
Alright.
I don't need to use someone else's phone.
Yeah, you do. If this says call Joe, and Joe is programmed into this phone, you need to use somebody else's phone. Oh wait, hold on a second. It is a mouse.
Just a standard computer mouse.
Yep, it's not a moose. And yeah, there we go. I don't know why my cursor works on this screen rather than the mouse cursor, but still. J Leader. Read Kendra. Leah might be just a police officer, but she has a secure and stable income. You do not. Your promotion to manager of the new Abacus is a good first step. Keep it out for a few more years, then we can talk about getting more custody. J Letter, MRY Law. I know that name. Was that on my emails about MRY Law? Yeah, that was the divorce lawyer. That was the divorce lawyer in the last one, or was it this one? From Tiffany. I'll have a look. Yeah, Tiffany was the last game, so this one must be on there. I don't know whether most screens need to be saved or not, but anyway. Nia Piero. Trollgate. Trollgate is the name of the game that Kendra loves playing. Wait, what? Okay. You sure about this online game? Trollgate or whatever it's called? Do I have to tell you about all the creeps that hang out online? She's determined to play the theme on the piano, so at least there's that. Perhaps it's harmless. You know more about this stuff than me. Just make sure she doesn't do anything stupid, okay? Abacus admin, parental eye. Email, got a new shipment of parental eye software coming your way. Could you try to upsell it? Maybe it's overly paranoid NYU parents? The boss is desperate to get rid of the stuff. Mark it down to whatever you want. Undisclosed. For all networking and security needs, contact Tomo! Email, I got a copy of the parental eye software you recommended. I installed it on Kendra's computer, and now my computer and yours can read her email. You just need to install it on your office computer and you're in business. Okay. Email, maybe you're right. This is a huge breach of trust, and she'd kill me if she found out. She's a smart kid. I'm sure she can handle cyberspace. In this respect, she's more your daughter than mine. Install it if you want to, but I'm out. Alright, there's more. Abacus admin. Deal with it. No, I have no idea who Tomo is. You're supposed to be in charge. If you can't control your own office spam, maybe you should get someone who can? Help. Huge favour to ask. Can you pick Kendra up a bit early tonight? George and I have theatre tickets, and the show starts earlier than we thought. Need help. We're swamped here today. I'm not sure I can get away early. Can you drop her off here? Fine. We'll drop her off at the Abacus. It's only heavy midtown traffic and 40 blocks out of our way. Kendra. Email from Kendra. I got it. I can play the tune from Trill. Great. No sheet music or anything. I'll play it for you this weekend. From Sam Durkin. Where are they? I understand your frustration, Mr. Haskins. I have to ask you to stop phoning our office. We're just as concerned with finding Officer Piero and Kendra as you are. This is our job. As soon as we know anything, you will be the first to know. George Austin. I know we don't see eye to eye, but what kind of monster do you take me for? I had nothing to do with whatever happened to Leah, and I would never harm that little girl. I'll assume it's fear and frustration, and possibly alcohol talking, and leave it at that. Well, that didn't... Did that get us anything? I mean, we could install Parental Eye. Can we install that? Or is it on there already? It could be background information, yeah. Well, that's good to know about screensavers. Yeah, it could be on her computer and the computer at Leah's place. Or Leah's computer at their place. But I'm pretty sure we looked this up already, but you know, I'm going to do it anyway, because Tomo! Tomo, it's all you need to do about Tomo is there is no Tomo. If you find Tomo, Tomo is already gone. Poof! Yep, that is exactly the same thing that we had in the last few. Alright, got the key. Oh, trash.
A trash can.
Yep, go rooting through it.
There's nothing in there.
Oh well. Out we go then. Oh, do I have new email? New. Oh yes. From N. Nashanti Sharma. Hello from Kerala, Backwaters. It's so hot here, but at least there are lots of cool lakes. Good thing Modi can swim. How's the weather in New York? Hope you're keeping warm. I know I am. Well, it's good to know that the friend we made in the first one is still keeping in contact with us. But even if she isn't going to be in this game. Sure. Alright, escalator.
With all the walking I do, I've gained a big appreciation for escalators.
Meh.
These only used to be in upscale shops back in my day. Now every 2-bit operation has one.
I mean, you can't use them anyway. You don't have legs to like stand on them and use them to go down. Alright, Leah Piero's place. Hey, you know how there was a missing cop? Now I'm gonna break into this place. I did just use Joey to leave, yes.
That did it.
Apparently
it's about
you can
time.
do it.
I'm freezing out here.
It's near the bottom of India, is it? Ah, she's doing a tour of a... Well, I was going to say the old country, but I don't know that she actually came from there. Come on, Joey.
It's freezing in here. And it's not from the cold.
Oh, good. You feel it too. I was worried it was just me.
What is it?
I don't know. Nothing nice, that's for sure.
Hey, there's another
the
key.
label on the key says Emil.
Oh, so now we can get in Emil's place.
It's a set of dresser drawers. No signature on the painting. Probably done by a relative or something. Looks like a cordless phone.
Oh, check it for messages.
I already have a phone of my own. I don't need to use this one.
Yeah, I know.
It's an old photograph of the Manhattan skyline.
Alright, let's investigate around and see what we can get for breakfast. KK
It
the
says
Troll.
KK the Troll. I'm not that hungry. A vase of flowers. No signature.
I don't think KK's for breakfast.
It looks like a fuse box. It's in much better shape than the last one I saw.
Yeah. Can you open it and fiddle around with fuses anyway?
It seems to be in perfect working order. I wonder why all the lights are off.
Because there's nobody in here?
Looks like someone's been doing some DIY. It's just a shelf. There's nothing on it.
Alright. Nope, still a mysterious white blob on the floor that we can't
A
interact
cheap
with.
reproduction painting of a sad-eyed woman. Too cheesy for the bathroom, I guess. An ad for a sports car. A plastic Christmas tree. There's a lot of dust on it. Was it even used last December? A child's broken bicycle.
Okay, well we know that she didn't die due to the bike, which was my initial
Air
thought.
freshener and bug spray. I think I'll pass.
I mean...
There's nothing on the shelf.
Right, but it looks too big and imposing to not have a hidden thing behind it for some reason. Alright. Can we go upstairs?
Just a sparse and empty bedroom. I don't think there's anything useful up here.
Okay, so there's not another computer up there. That's interesting. And I don't think KK is the answer. I think KK might be the answer to something. Like, you might have to go through 2 questions or something. It's your dad, or 3 questions. It's your dad. You're eating waffles for breakfast. Hey, I'm gonna look at all these things again. And then, what's the name of my troll?
A little kid definitely drew this. I'm guessing it's a self-portrait.
You'd be right.
It's a Valentine's Day card. It says, "For a special daughter." It's very sweet.
No, it's not. It's weird and creepy. Why are you sending cards professing your romantic love to your... Or why are you sending Valentine's cards to your daughter on the day when you're meant to profess your romantic love? Yes? I mean... It's fine, I understand the, like, familial love within the family, etc., but that is not the day that you send those cards to your kid.
It's cute, I guess. I never played with many dollhouses.
That's okay. Neither do I.
And I'm saying all my thoughts out
fit in
loud.
there anyway.
What weirdo would sit down and look at things in a room and then just spout out their thoughts out loud to whoever happened to be listening?
That teddy
Crazy.
bear isn't terribly well cared for.
You sound like my mother.
You've got Griff.
The
You don't need
snow's still
another
coming
teddy
down
bear.
pretty fast. The shirt has a little heart on it. Cute, I guess.
Oh, is that the one she was wearing in the picture?
It's a smiling stuffed octopus.
His name is Cute Thulu.
I have a little sort of Funko Pop type thing. I don't know. Can you see? Stay. No, that's not going to work any better. I can't remember where it came from. Made in China. That doesn't help you. Doesn't help me either.
A stuffed panda bear. Looks like it's been played with a lot.
She's Pandora the Giant. Her home planet is the globe ball, but she's too big to go back, so she stays here.
I missed looking at the globe
A
ball.
stuffed globe. I used to have one. I stared at it for hours.
I just throw it around the room. It doesn't bounce too well.
Well, it's not designed to bounce. Oh, wait,
that
computer.
must be Kendra's computer. It's turned off.
Can I turn it on? Hey, you mind if I use your computer? What you gonna do? You can't stop me if I do.
It's not turning on.
Power's been out. Sorry.
Yeah, why's the power out? I guess I might have to go around the back. But anyway, hey, you're
She's
Kendra.
really focused on that music, like she's trying to shut out the world. It's disturbingly familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot about pianos, but it seems to be in decent shape.
Well, let's have a quick look at our notes. Remind me, George Austin. Okay, right, nothing particularly. So, Kendra.
Hi. Kendra?
Who are you? I'm a friend of Joey's. I'm looking for your mother.
I'm a friend of Joey. You met him earlier?
Oh yeah. Is he around?
He always is.
Okay. Tell him hi. I have to practice now.
I need to talk to you.
Kendra?
Uh-huh.
You can talk to me as
If
well.
you're willing to talk to Joey, you can talk to me as well. We're friends.
I really need to practice. Sorry.
I really don't. If you do somehow make it to my house and just randomly start spouting thoughts about the things you see in here, you will be here for a long while, as my place is pretty messy at the moment. So, you know, randomly spout all of your thoughts. I think Joe and Gayla should just announce all their thoughts tomorrow as they look at the stuff.
She's
That
really
would be a
focused on
thing.
Hi.
That would be a thing.
Kendra?
Uh-huh.
Maybe we will. Hey.
I'm sorry about your parents, Kendra. I grew up without any family at all. I kind of know what it's like.
Yeah, I really should practice now.
Yeah. Hey, Kendra. You know how your parents are split up? Well, not to try and outdo you or anything, but mine are dead! I grew up with my Auntie Lauren, but she went into a coma! And now, the person who kind of drove her into a coma is always hanging around with me and won't leave me alone. Alone! Alone!
Hi.
But,
Kendra?
you know,
Uh-huh.
aside from that, everything's fine.
Could I ask you a few questions, Kendra?
I really gotta practice.
Have to practice. Sorry.
Alright, so it's only Joey that you really want to talk to.
Joey, come in here for a sec.
What is it?
I wonder when the last time you cleaned up was. I mean, I wonder when that was as well. Hey there, Kendra, we're gonna talk. And this Rosangela person is gonna stand in
Kendra?
the way of us.
Sorry to bother you again, but I have something I want to ask you.
Well, okay.
Alright, no, we're not gonna... Alright, I'm gonna tell you you're dead.
No, not this time, not with her. Besides, it's not like that line ever works anyway.
Very self-aware, and a good conscious decision to make to just not spread out, you're dead, dead, dead. Alright. We saw your dad.
What about your dad? Is he around?
No, he's late.
Late?
Yeah, we
Picking
know
me
that.
on Fridays, but he's...
Alright.
Tell me about you.
Dunno.
Tell me about you.
Dunno.
I don't know anything about myself. I am an empty vessel.
I'm looking for Leah, your mother. Any idea where she could be?
She should be here. I'd know if she wasn't.
She's not, though. She's missing.
Do you ever go to Grace Church?
No, but Mom does.
She does.
She used to go a lot. Not anymore, though.
Yeah, she might still be there. I don't know.
Do you know George Austin?
You mean Mom's friend?
Yeah,
He's okay. Mom likes him.
but you don't.
Dunno.
Sounds like that dunno was reused from there. You got anything else to
Can
tell
you
us?
tell me anything about George?
He comes here and I'm with Dad. I found some of his socks in the hamper. It was really gross.
Yeah, not
Can you
surprised.
tell me anything about George?
He comes here and I'm with Dad. I found some of his socks in the hamper. It was really gross.
Yeah, I agree. Joey made the right call there. A lot of respect for him.
So your mom went
She's
to
later.
Grace Church.
Yeah.
Alright, so looks like we're going back to Grace Church then.
I'm looking for Leah.
She should...
Because Grace is not...
Tell me about you.
Dunno.
What about your
No.
late?
Picking me on Fridays, but he's...
Right, I mean... Let's just have a look at the come with me. I mean, it's your dad. Your dad is the obvious right answer. But let's just say, I'm there. I'm going to take you to your
I'm
mum.
gonna take it as...
I told you. And I need to...
Alright, yep. So there's a lot of... Let's do
Hey, Kendra.
the bus
sorry
driver
to-
one.
Well,
Listen,
I'm the school bus driver and I'm taking you to school. I mean, it's interesting that it eliminates the wrong ones. When this is, you know, something that you should be... It hasn't eliminated this one, which is the right answer. But, you know, I'm the bus
I'm
driver.
the bus driver. I'm taking you to school.
it's winter vacation. There's no school. I need to practice.
Alright, okay. Well then. That's the end of that. And the end of my half-formed thought. We can go to Emil's place now, if we want. I don't know that we still need the envelope. If we go to his place and then we return his envelope to him, is he going to freak out and think, oh my god, people, they've been prying in places and doing things. Alright, okay. The light isn't going to turn on, is it?
Huh. The lights don't work.
Right, but the fuses are... So what happened here? Some massive psychic energy release, which...
It looks like a fuse box.
Yeah, but look at it. Open it and show me it's all working.
It seems to be in
No,
perfect
it is working. Alright. So, yeah. Is the fridge working?
It's a refrigerator. It's covered in magnets and drawings. I'm not that hungry.
You're not hungry enough to just go eating things from a suspect's room, are you? Okay. No, it's... Something happened here that is causing nothing to work. Except, of course, you've got the light here which is lit up. Which is just Nothing in this house is working because the electricity is weird. The computer doesn't turn on. And the fuses are fine and the lights don't work. But apparently there's nothing saying the fridge is humming, right?
It's a refrigerator.
Something told me it was humming. Joey?
Joey,
You bet.
it's a refrigerator.
No, sorry, I want to be Joey.
It's just a fridge, humming quietly.
Right. So why is the fridge humming quietly?
Nope, still a ghost. Still can't pick that up.
Stick your head inside and see whether it's working. Because if the electricity is not working here for some reason... This is weird. Alright, okay. Joey said the fridge was humming. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Alright, well we've got Emil's thing. No, not cool, Joey. Just exit. You can't go around the back of the house. Grace Church. Hey.
Hi again.
Yes.
Best character in game.
Do you know a woman named Leah? I think she was a member of this church.
Even if she was, I'm afraid the name eludes me. I'm sorry.
Alright, what about Kendra?
Do you know anything about a little girl named Kendra Haskins?
I'm afraid not. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Do you know a guy named Emil Haskins?
I'm afraid I don't. I'm sorry.
Are you sure you don't know George Austin?
I am positive. I'm sorry.
Could you tell me about this church?
Are you looking to... I'm afraid...
Alright, I mean... I suspect... Leah... I don't know that she's hiding here. But if she is, then this guy's obviously in on it.
Well...
Stay
safe. Interesting thing to say. I don't know why you would come out this exit rather than the entrance you went in, but okay. Alright, Emil. Looks like I'm coming to see you. You've only got one key, though. Will that get us through both doors?
It fits.
Apartment 3.
No response.
I know, I wanted you to just open the door and go in.
I probably should check to see if Emil is home before barging in. That would be awkward.
Oh, so Joey's going to tell us he's in there, is he? Get rid of the key. You're looking ahead to see what to do. Oh, he is there.
Look
That's
at
a shame.
Poor guy.
Alright. Let's go in the back room then this time and see him not there. What's your response now?
It's just a bedroom, empty of any furniture except a tiny bed. Some kind of oil paint.
Alright, we've seen all of that. We've seen that. We've seen this. Oh, he's sleeping.
I shouldn't mess with the guy.
You shouldn't, but you're going to.
No reaction.
Alright, I don't know whether this means you can go in or not, and I don't even know why you want to go in at this point.
I don't want to barge in on Emil. I don't need another restraining order.
Alright, okay. Alright, so... Yeah, I didn't think he was dead. I mean... Hey Sam, you gonna answer?
There's no answer.
No, I don't think so. Alright, let's get out of here. Where's the exit? Oh, it's the other side. Oh well. Can't really get into George Austin's place. I guess I can go there and ask about the cop. But you said you haven't seen her in a couple of weeks.
Hi.
Yes, miss?
Which is probably the same sort of time that they disappeared.
You said Leah was good for George. Could you tell me why?
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said any of that. You're not a cop or anything yourself, are you?
Well...
No, you're not. You would have shown me your badge if you were. Forget it. Sorry.
Oh, you sure?
Are you sure you can't tell...
Not unless you're a...
What if I told you I was a spiritual consultant and showed you one of these glow-in-the-dark business cards, which I appear to not have anymore? Have you seen Kendra around here?
Do you know anything about Kendra? Leah Piero's daughter.
I'm sorry, but I don't.
She doesn't come here.
Do you know anything about Emil Haskins, Leah's ex-husband?
Sorry, I don't. I don't know much about Leah.
No, I don't think so.
Why did George go to Grace Church instead of a local one?
I couldn't say. Sorry.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about George?
No. We can't talk about our residents. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, going to talk to Sam is just about the only thing I can think of as well. There's nothing at home, nothing at George's place. We've been to the church. I might have missed something at their place. Can't do anything at the White Abacus. I suppose I could talk to the guy, but I don't think he's going to know anything about it. Can't do anything at Exeter House right now. Don't know why I would want to do anything at Exeter House right now. I'm guessing you might die. And then we take you to see your dad? Still don't know where this breakfast comes from. Alright, let's go to the police station. Hey, Sam.
Detective?
Uh-huh.
Consult notes.
Are you familiar with Emil Haskins, Leah's ex-husband?
I told you, I can't help you on this one. Sorry.
Look, I want to tell you that Kendra is dead. I know she is dead in the same way that I know other things. You know the guesses which I come to you with which turn out to be 100% accurate? This is going to absolutely kill everything in the investigation, but you need to know it.
Do you know anything about Leah's daughter, Kendra?
I told you, I can't help you on this one. Sorry.
And why are you an interactive character?
Can you tell
who
me
stand
anything about Officer Piero?
I told you,
Have you ever been to Grace Church for any reason?
Church? No.
No reason. Forget it.
Alright, well, what about George?
I know the victim's name.
Yeah, this crap doesn't impress me anymore. And even if it did, you're not a cop. You're not even officially on the books.
So? Make it unofficial. You've done it before.
Not this time, sorry. With all due respect, you need to back off.
I mean, I can't.
Well, see you around.
Uh-huh.
Alright, Joey, I don't know why you'd want to see the duty roster that was in there. You could give me a hint, but it's more fun hearing me make wrong statements. You're noting the time. Yes. I was looking at the time
Why
and
would I
thinking
want
about
that?
I don't know, I want you to look at it and see if it says anything about anybody there.
Looks like some kind of duty roster. Nothing relevant.
Alright. Did I miss anything on the desk? No, that's the address.
The journal is interesting. This folder seems to be full of old expense reports.
Yeah, that's for Kendra again. There's George, there's the address.
That's according to this.
Alright. I really am not certain where to go next. I mean, yeah, it could be there's something at the store. I mean, there's...
I remember that old cartoon.
I don't remember that old cartoon at all. Do you know anything? I mean,
Hi
you
again.
must have seen Kendra. She's been here. Oh!
Do you have any copies of the Parental Eye software?
Parental Eye? Yeah, we got plenty of those left. They didn't sell very well. I guess people don't like to spy on their children, but me, I don't judge. Anyway, we got a bunch behind the counter. That'll be $14.99.
Do you take debit cards?
Sure. Here you go.
Thanks. Thanks.
Sure.
And on that incredibly stupid, disappointing note of me being stupid and not doing very, very basic things, this is where we are going to end today.
According to the back of the box, this allows you to monitor another computer for suspicious activity.
Alright,
All
so
you have to do is install it on the computer you want to monitor.
It's already installed in there.
And configure it so another computer can read it.
And you've already configured it.
There are all sorts of disclaimers and government warnings on the back too. I don't think this is entirely legal.
Install it on the computer in here, and then do the stuff. Save to it is. Alright, there we go. And with that, I am once again being summoned to the other side by people. Yes, there I am. So, let me say thank you all so very much for being here with me, whether live and in person or later on the VOD. I do appreciate each and every one of you spending some of your limited time here with me. We'll be back again tomorrow to do more of this, and should you be interested, there is an RPG on the Steam Still Murder Twitch channel, which I will be doing tonight, a tabletop RPG. We'll be continuing with our D&D exploration of Amber Castle, I think it is, but either way, yes. And I am glad you suggested the store too. But either way, that is where I will be this evening, or my tomorrow morning, 2 a.m. my time, so 14.5 hours from now, I believe, if I've got it right. Yes, that is where I will be. But we will be back here tomorrow with more exciting Blackwell. I don't think we'll finish it tomorrow. Maybe we will do this on Sunday as well, as opposed to the Portal thing. I don't know. That all depends on... I'm going to have a look at how long to beat, etc., and see how far along we are, and whether I'm slow playing this as I usually do. But all the same, thank you all so much for being here. I have been Richard, and this has been LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. And you all have fun.